Today is the day. It has finally come. I have the new Icom 705 in my QRP adventure kits. I have all my antennas and gear ready to go in my RV for a trip coming up in 2 weeks, where you're going to see this radio in a video every day. Where I'm going to be using this thing to do everything from HF, QRP, email over HF, everything portable, solar, with portable chameleon antennas. It's all going to be right here. I'm excited. I finally got this. And I'm going to show you another little special surprise. If you're planning on ordering this radio, check it out now on HamRadioConcepts.
And now, HamRadioConcepts presents another exciting amateur radio video, keeping ham radio operators informed with a thorough look at the new products. Now, here's your host, Eric, KJ4YZI.
Check it out, check it out. I have it ready to go, although I have not pulled the screen protector off, as those people like to yell at me and say, why is that still on? We're gonna do it together. You ready? Watch this. I love this part. Do it with me. Oh God, I love it. Brand new Icom 705. Thanks to people like my sponsors for helping me out, because I purchased this radio from gigaparts.com. Now, the first time I checked this radio out, it really wasn't for sale yet in the US. It was back ordered for a while. I had to save a little money. I finally got it. The thing about this radio is it is amazing, okay? I am hooked on this radio, and a lot of people, I think, don't know why, but I'm going to show you in the future videos why I am hooked on this radio, because I've done it with 5-watt radios. The only difference is this is a 5-watt radio that you've never, ever thought of, with things like remote operation with the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in. I mean, this is amazing. HF, VHF, UHF, all mode. You can do 2-meter sideband, you can do UHF, you can send emails over WinLink, you can do anything you want with this in a compact form. Everything about this exists in the 7300 I have and the 9700 together in a 5-watt on battery, or 10-watt when you're plugged in on the side with my Bio and solar. I want to show you something real quick though. We'll get into this before we keep going, because this is another intro video as to what I have. Notice the Pelican case I have here, the similar Pelican with the pinch and pull foam, or pluck and pull, that I awesomely made fit right in there with the microphone. I got the DC cord under here, and I got the radio fit in there. A tight luggage case. Now, this is going to be something that I always take with me. I can take on a plane, I can take in my RV. The best thing about this is to thank you guys for what I always try to come up with something ingenious. I did a little special thing here. For the first 50 people that buy this radio from Gigaparts, I organized 50 of these Ham Radio Concept cases, 50 Ham Radio Concepts tumblers for your drinks out in the field, and 50 Ham Radio Concepts bumper stickers. Those are free, all 3 of them, with each purchase at Gigaparts with this radio. I figured instead of, the orange shirts that nobody wanted to buy, maybe you'd get more use. If you're gonna buy a 705, you get more use of having a Ham Radio Concepts box out there, and the tumbler as well. Keep your drinks cold or hot if you're doing coffee out in the middle of the wilderness, snow on the top of a mountain. I hope to see pictures on those Ham Radio Concepts Yetis on my Facebook. In the meantime, right now, while they last, Gigaparts will ship those with this radio when you buy it for the first 50 people. Something else that I got while supplies last that I had gotten free with Gigaparts when I bought this radio is this cool, for the people outdoors, Icom LED little flashlight. That's their new stance for the 705, be active, because everybody wants to be out in the field with radios, or ham radio operators need to be out in the field, and Icom is trying to go with that mindset with the 705. So be active. And this cool little Icom LED flashlight, this is while supplies last, but the deals that I come up with the 50 cases, the 50 tumblers, and the 50 bumper stickers, those are to say thank you, and hopefully something better than the shirts I was trying to sell. In the meantime, we're going to fire up the 705 for the first time, and I'm going to quickly just give a couple more ideas over this, because there's a few things that I've noticed now that I have and own the radio, although I haven't made contact on it yet. I haven't really talked to anybody or hooked it to an antenna, or even really did nothing but turn it on and make sure it works. But a couple things I want to mention about this radio that I didn't know before, or maybe missed in a previous video, And we'll set it up here, out here with the Chameleon antenna, the M-Pass for now, in my little chair, and see if I can make a contact real quick at 5 watts just with battery. Not going to set up the solar and all that, and we'll see a couple things, and then you're going to be amazed at all the videos that I have planned for this out in the field. RVers, people that are POTA, SOTA, all the other ham radio guys on YouTube, they're always out there doing, you know, summits on the air, parks on the air, islands on the air, Walmart parking lots on the air, whatever. A radio like this is just awesome, and I am just excited at this radio. Let's check it out.
CQ, here is November 9 Radio Hotel. November 9 Radio Hotel. November 9 Radio Hotel, calling CQ and listening for any call.
Kilo Juliet 4, Yankee Zulu India QRP.
Yeah, the QRP station, here's November 9 Radio Hotel.
Okay, November 9 Radio Hotel. This is KJ4YZI, Kilo Juliet 4, Yankee Zulu India. The first transmission, QRP portable in the backyard on the new Icom 705. 5 watts, over.
Okay, I'll give you a report on next go around, but you said your call letters so fast I couldn't copy them down. Kilo something JYZ, I think I have. So please repeat your call letters again, if you will, a little slower. Thank you.
I do apologize. The excitement is overwhelming. The call sign is Kilo Juliet number 4, Yankee Zulu India. That's KJ4 YZI. 5 watts on the Icom 705 on battery in the backyard with the Chameleon M-Pass antenna set up as a vertical, over.
Okay, fine business. I got you that time, KJ4.
Geez, you can't do it on 5 watts. What's everybody talking about?
You're doing a pretty good job. You're about a 52 here, about a 52 in southeast Indiana. The handle is Bob, Bravo, Oscar, Bravo. Bravo, Oscar, Bravo. Running a little more power than you, 100 watts, to a Cushcraft beam up about 30 feet, pointed to the southeast. I can't turn it because the wind broke the rotator. I'm pointing to the Caribbean pretty well, but I can't turn it anywhere. I also have a vertical I can use, but it doesn't. Even with the beam pointed southeast, the vertical usually doesn't do as well unless somebody's at right angles to the beam. Anyway, it's an Icom 9600 or 7600. So please give me your handle, if you will, and your QTH.
Very good. The handle is Eric, Echo Romeo, India Charlie. QTH is Sebastian, Florida. That's about 60 miles south of Cape Canaveral on the East Coast. And you were the first contact on the 705 right out of the box. No settings at all. Just turned it on, turned the scope on, and away I go. I hope it's sounding pretty good for the setup here, and I'll be using this a lot more in the field. One of my favorite radios of all time, the 705.
73s. Hope to see you again. Kilo J4 YZI down in Florida, November 9 Radio Hotel Clear. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, and 7-3. 5 watts with the 705 on battery, and just listen to how it sounded. It's amazing. I love the sound of this thing. You know, my idea is not to have this holding in my hand, although I could do that. The mic is very comfortable to use doing that. But I'm going to have my chairs, one of my chairs where you got the table, you know, set up over here where it sits here. And the screen readability out in the sun, well, I'm in the shade now, partial shade, but you can see it is definitely readable. Let's check out some other things that you may be interested if you haven't seen this radio. And I've done a video in the past. You can look at that when it was first released. Got a quick peek on that. We made some contacts on there over on the river. But so far, that's the first contact at 5 watts, the first pull of the key on QRP here. All right, so let's go over a couple of things here real quick. Now, I gotta say, I think this is the first time Icom has had a box like this where it's colored and it shows you some of the accessories and gives you an overview of what their intent is of the radio, to make a good point right off the bat of the box. But like I said, be active. That's the whole reason I'm out here in my chair, and the whole reason, you know, outside doing the video, because that's where I find fun in ham radio, is outdoors. Now, again, if I hook it up to my Bio and my solar panel, it would run all day on 10 watts. That's doubling your power, but you just saw I could do it at 5 watts. One thing I want to check out in the future is the Icom optional multifunction backpack. Now, if you look at my video from HamFest when they first announced this, Ray had the very first demo unit, and that backpack was cool because it's designed exclusively for that 705. And you could, you know, the radio fits in there. It's got holes to run the mic cords out of there, you know, through the backpack, so you don't have to have it in your, you know, just laying open. At the same time, that backpack's cool because with this radio and the Wi-Fi, you can operate remotely from your phone or tablet and not even have this in your hand. You can see the whole screen and everything from your phone, leave that in the backpack out in the rain. You know, this is outdoor, you know, designed with outdoor elements, you know, to keep it from, you know, getting wet and stuff. But people might say, this isn't a review of a box. Why do we want to see a box? Because I think that makes a big statement instead of a brown cardboard box. That's just me. Now, as we said before, this 705, it does not have a tuner, and to me that's not a big deal for me. That's the biggest thing I hear. In fact, I heard some people say, shame on Icom for not putting a tuner in there. How dare you? Well, I just don't use a tuner. I use antennas that are pretty much resonant, like my F loop, my Chameleon F loop, my P loop. That M-Pass is pretty much almost resonant on all the bands. Most bands, but I could tune my antennas at the antenna to make them efficient or usable without a tuner. Now, what I've seen, something new that I've seen when I showed this radio a couple of weeks ago in a video, was somebody's making, I got to figure out who's making it, I forgot, making an external tuner for this that plugs right in. And it's not Icom, but it's another company making them, and I'll have that link in the description as well. The battery on this is the same battery that is on the, actually it's a little bit higher capacity, I think, on the ID51 handhelds. So those of you that have the handhelds, I had an ID51. I'm not sure if the ID52 has the same battery. Goes on here, it runs off this battery. This is 1880 milliamp, okay? And the cool thing about that is, for those who have several batteries, don't worry about the runtime out in the field, because you have 3 or 4 batteries going plus an external one. You'll run all day and night, all weekend on a, you know, field day or whatever. So the thing about this was, when I opened the box, it comes with a cord. It had a DC barrel jack, which goes in this side, and just a raw end on it for like a power supply. And I thought, oh man, I don't have nothing in my RV like that. No, it does charge over USB. Micro USBs on this side. Took about 3.5 hours, micro USB with a 2 amp block plugged into the wall, and charge it right up, okay? And the battery should last, you know, in what I just did, if I turn this on, it should tell me the battery voltage here on the screen. 8.0 volts, it's full, it still says full, okay? So that, you know, I can make plenty of contacts at 5 watts. Maybe full duty cycle a little less, you know, but I haven't exactly got a determined hourly, you know, function. So D-Star is in this as well. So on VHF and UHF, you could actually do the picture mode, which is something that I showed on the 9700. Now, I'm pretty sure when I checked this radio out as a demo, it had that already in there, or maybe it was included afterwards. But if you go to, I'll show you here real quick. On the page 2, you have picture, right? Oh, let's go back here. Picture mode. Now, this is pretty cool because over D-Star, you could be talking to somebody, and I'm not sure if that works on, this looks like it's on 20 meters there. Maybe picture mode works on 20 meters on sideband. I'm not sure. I'll have to figure that out. That's going to be one of the 12 videos I'm making in 2 weeks. The picture mode, it'll draw right on the screen, and if you have a micro SD card in the side here, takes a memory card, you can save pictures on there or put pictures on and send them to other people. So imagine that. Imagine being out in the field with an antenna like the M-Pass or F-Loop or Wolf River coils, whatever antennas, And having this thing where you can send pictures over, D-Star or slow scan TV through a computer. I mean, the thing about this with digital modes, for those who are FT8 users, JT65, stuff like that, it's all native in here. No external sound card needed. That's another plus right there. My Zygu I had, my X-5105, the other one I had, you had to have the external, all the cables around, a USB to 3.5 millimeter for a PTT. And then you had to have this and that. This is all built in. All you need is a micro USB. Why? So those are digital, people that are doing digital, there's nothing to really argue about that. A micro USB into the computer and away you go. I mean, just set the volume or the levels for receive and transmit through the menu or your computer. So that's a plus. So far the pluses. We have, the digital modes that can be used just for the micro USB. D-Star is in here. So if you wanted to get on your local D-Star repeaters while you're not on HF QRP, you could do that too. Or hotspot. You get on access point or gateway mode like the 9700. It's all in here. Another thing that is cool, which I'm probably going to have, the camera that this is sitting on and my other camera's tripod, it's got a 1/4-20 screw, a standard camera tripod. So I can take the little ones and I can actually set this thing up on a tripod like this, with a little ball in the end, and angle it up like this and just sit back, have a cigar, play HF. Armchair copy like this. That's a cool feature of that, something that they designed to have this thing out in the field and give you as many options as possible. Now, I haven't changed any of the scope features yet. Again, that's right out of the box. But if you're not familiar with a 9700 or a 7300, it's the same method of tapping on the screen to move frequencies, okay? You can set up the screen on the waterfall to show, weaker signals with a higher reference. Maybe you have a higher noise floor. You could dial it down and find those very, very weak signals in the distance. You can dig them out if you're a CW operator. Watch this. So you can see, dial it down and see just the CW signals, but it goes beyond that. I have videos on the 7300 and 9700 as well, where you could see how to really set this scope up so that you can eliminate all the noise on the scope, make it easier to read. That's just right out of the box, but you can look at the scope right there and determine or agree with me that having a radio like this out in the field is light years ahead of something like an 817 or 818 Yaesu. Even though I had that, it was a cool radio, but man, it's kind of hard. You get real spoiled looking at something like this out in the field. The best thing I like about this radio and all the other radios is Icom kept it all the same as far as the menu structure and the design. When you pick this radio up, you know almost pretty much exactly, if you've used a 7300, 9700, how this works and what makes it tick. Okay, you could basically do the same, go right through by changing the modes here, CW, USB, upper side, lower side, FM. You want to change bands, you click on the button here, or the frequency, and there's all the bands. And the menu structure, although adding another page and some other features, because this has things that the 7300, 9700 don't have, like GPS, Bluetooth, wireless operation, stuff like that, Wi-Fi. It's all in here, so there's extra features. But you also have CW keyer in here, so that you can set up memories to call CQ. You could do voice memories. You could even use this for satellite if you wanted to, which I'm going to have in one of those 12 videos, however many videos I make. As satellite, just with a split frequency uplink downlink, and watch it on the scope. So this radio will answer a lot of different tasks or ideas that you may have to have a QRP portable radio out in the field. I can't really, for myself, if you want my honest opinion, I see nothing negative that I can say about this radio. And people are going to say, well, who told you to say that? Icom Gigapart? No, I bought this radio, okay? And I bought the additional accessories that I wanted to provide to the first 50 people to spread the brand and to have something fun to put this in, because I know everybody's going to be like, wow, where'd you get that case? Well, now you got a HamRadioConcepts case if you buy one from Gigaparts, okay, while they last. And they'll never be made again. Those are going to be exclusive. I don't think I'm ever going to do that again, so that way they're rare items, like a Pokemon card. If you're interested in ham radio and you have no idea about what it is, and you're looking at this and you're like, wow, Eric, I see a bunch of colors on the screen. I found your channel. I have no idea. Can you talk down the street with that? You can talk around the world. What? You have no idea. I encourage you to visit my buddies at HamRadioPrep.com. My sponsors who help me get radios like this with my efforts. And HamRadioPrep.com has a code. exclusive for you watching, Eric 20, ERIC 20. And I told them, I want to, if I'm going to, you know, think that this is one of the best services, I want you to hook up my viewers and help them get licensed. So for the cost less than a book on Amazon to study, HamRadioPrep.com will give you interactive web interface, you know, classes for Tech General and Extra, and get your license and get on radios like this in the field. Make sure you use the code ERIC20, spread it as a Christmas gift, help people get licensed and get more hams on the air, because I want to talk to more people out in the air, out in the field that have a radio like this, and have more people to talk to. You know, that's what it's about. This is awesome. So aside from my M-Pass that I have out there, it took me, what, 2 minutes to set that thing up. Great antenna, I use it all the time, but I still haven't even got to configure the wire setup, like inverted V or sloper or L, and that's coming also when I'm on my RV trip and in the future. We're gonna test out the wire configurations. But wait, there's more. Right, so I have this whole side of my RV, check it out. I have my F loop, I have a Chameleon F loop 2.0 total, my P loop, I have my satellite tracker, I have my tower of power, which is my carbon fiber mast and aluminum tripod, or all metal tripod. That was from Gigaparts as well. Thank you for Gigaparts. I got some more antennas over here. The Chameleon MCOM 3 portable, the Chameleon base, MCOM base. I have all the mounts for that, and I'm in here digging around playing because I had it all organized. I'm like, well, I mean, I got antennas there, coax, I got all kinds of stuff that this is all going to be used. This is pretty much what I want to do. When I'm out, you know, I've kind of, with the RV life thing, I kind of really enjoy the QRP. I can mount this antenna here on my porch outside. I can mount it on a portable tripod. I could hang it from a tree. You know, I can do a lot of different things. And this is all going to be used in all these videos. I'm going to be determined to show every single configuration of these antennas with that 705, including the things you can't see back there. Send emails, show what ham radio would be like in the field without any power, solar, battery, and modes of communication, including satellites and you know, WinLink and digital and packet and whatever I can show, Bluetooth, D-Star, I'm going to show it. All right, so that's it for the moment. A little primer to show what's in store, what I got. You know, I haven't played much HF lately, but this just fired it all up again, man. I'm getting ready to get my extra. I got the 705, antennas all over the place for portable, the RV, and it's going to start getting big. A lot of people said, Eric, I thought you left ham radio. No, I just took a break. But I call that thinning the herd, because I got about 6,000 people that unsubscribed the day I said goodbye, I'm taking a break, and everybody dropped off Patreon. So I appreciate those people for leaving, because evidently they didn't need to be here anyways. I have 109,000 subscribers that are sticking with me, that just enjoy watching something better than the same reruns of Seinfeld on TV. So I hope you're interested in watching, and stay tuned. Make sure you use the code HRC705 at checkout at Gigaparts if you want that HamRadioConcepts swag pack. Thank you for being a part of my videos and watching all these years. But if that code doesn't work, I'm out. So when I run out and the 50 are sold, I'm gonna shut the code off, and you won't have a chance at that. So a little piece instead of something better than the orange shirt that my wife called a traffic cone. She didn't like walking around that. In fact, she said Ham Radio 2.0's Jason's shirt was better than mine. So now my wife can't say anything, because I got a HamRadioConcepts tumbler and a Pelican case and a bumper sticker, which is going on the window of her expedition out there. 7-3, thanks for watching. KJ4YZI. And she's laughing up there. She's like, no, you didn't.